Et ensuite, on redit bonjour YouTube. Bonjour YouTube. Donc nous on est en live, donc toujours hein. Et du coup on en est au jour 3 du coup, qui s'appelle un formulaire inattendu. Et on se remet là-dessus, voilà. Alors vous voyez pas, je vais dire. Un jour, jour 3, un formulaire inattendu. Tu arrives à la maison et je trouve du courrier sur le pas de la porte. Comme d'habitude, rien d'intéressant à l'exception d'une lettre attire ton attention. L'équipe souhaite mieux vous connaître. La curiosité l'emporte et tu l'ouvres. Fortune actuelle, pauvre et fauché. Il s'agit d'un formulaire provenant du nouveau gouvernement Advance et visant à accueillir des interventions sur tous les citoyens. Première page est pré-remplie. Nom Alex Winston, conjoint Sam Winston, enfant Charles 14 ans et Suzy Winston 19 ans. Tu te dis qu'au moins ils ne se sont pas trompés. C'est manifestement à toi de remplir le reste et apparemment ce n'est pas facultatif. Question 1. Si vous aviez un nouvel emploi, quelle serait votre attitude? Je montre aimable et présente à mes collègues, la productivité avant tout, je me mets immédiatement au travail, je découvre tranquillement mon nouveau lieu de travail, j'évoque mes anciens emplois avec mes amis. Alors moi je découvre tranquillement mon nouveau lieu de travail. Là je réponds premier degré. Question 2. Une collègue d'un autre service vous confie avoir rapporté à la maison des informations confidentielles, maintenant qu'un dossier certes peu important a disparu. Aidez votre collègue à dissimuler son infraction, conseillez votre collègue de se dénoncer, promettez à votre collègue de garder le secret, en informez votre responsable sur le champ. Moi je vais plutôt conseiller à collègue de le dire, c'est pas un drame. Tous les salariés d'un service ont été renvoyés aujourd'hui après n'avoir jamais réussi à atteindre leurs objectifs. Votre chef a fixé de nouveaux objectifs nettement supérieurs aux précédents. Vous quittez le travail à l'heure prévue, restez au travail pour respecter les fixés, partez plus tôt et allez d'abord pour discuter de ces changements avec vos collègues, partez plus tôt et rentrez à la maison pour retrouver votre famille. Alors moi je quitte le travail à l'heure. C'est le barbecue annuel de l'entreprise auquel votre famille et vous avez été invités. Vous avez hâte de cette belle journée en compagnie de vos amis et de votre famille. Avez piscine ce jour-là. Y allez si vous avez rien de prévu, sinon tant pis pour le barbecue. Avez travaillé dur avec vos collègues et avez la certitude que cette année la première place du concours est pour vous. Bah moi j'y vais que si j'ai rien de prévu en fait. Au terme d'une longue carrière couronnée de succès, il est temps de partir à la retraite. Dans votre discours, vous énumérez vos réussites et vos succès, ainsi que tous les bons souvenirs liés à l'entreprise. Passez objectivement en revue les points forts et les points faibles de l'entreprise. Vous concentrez sur les défis à relever et les problèmes rencontrés au cours de votre carrière. Vous n'allez pas à votre pot de départ en retraite. Alors moi, j'ai énuméré les réussites et les succès, comme un connard. Question 6. Vous consacrez votre temps libre à vous détendre, à écouter de la musique ou encore au modélisme, assister à des meetings politiques et à défendre vos convictions, encourager et soutenir vos enfants dans leur passion, jouer pour l'équipe sportive locale. Je serais plus du genre à me détendre, mais j'aime bien... Pendant un moment, c'était aussi le fait d'assister à des meetings politiques et à me détendre. Enfin, à défendre mes convictions. Bah, je vais mettre aujourd'hui ce que je fais. Question 7. Votre destination de vacances idéale. Au plus près de la nature, dans l'endroit où vous pouvez échapper au train-train quotidien. Un endroit dépaysant dans lequel vous pouvez explorer, faire de nouvelles expériences et relever de nouveaux défis. Une sortie bien planifiée avec un parc d'attractions pour faire plein de sensations fortes en famille. Une île tropicale paradisiaque pour passer des moments romantiques avec votre conjointe. Auprès de la nature. Question 8. Le gouvernement doit avant tout garantir à leurs citoyens sécurité, liberté, bonheur ou égalité. Liberté. Merci de votre coopération. Advancez que votre temps est précieux et vous aurez reconnaissance de contribuer à mener la nation vers un avenir plus radieux. Signé ici. Il est tard, Sam et les enfants sont déjà au lit. Tu essuies une tasse. Un vieux souvenir rapporté de votre premier voyage ensemble. Le dessin s'est estompé, mais ce visage rigolo te donne toujours le sourire. Soudain, quelqu'un frappe à la fenêtre, te ramenant ainsi à la réalité. Dans le jardin, tu vois Chris, l'adelphe de Sam, avec sa tapageuse valise vert fluo. À l'intérieur, Chris s'assoit à la table de cuisine, visiblement quelque chose ne va pas. Chris inspire profondément. Pardon, je débarque à cette heure, Alex, bégaye Chris. J'ai connu plus féroce comme entretien RH. Ouais, moi aussi. Mais j'ai besoin d'un service, il n'y a que toi que je puisse demander. Pas de problème, que se passe-t-il? Tu as certainement vu toute cette folie autour d'Advance. La loi sur les actifs et les richesses, qu'ils appellent ça. Ils prennent aux gens l'argent qu'ils ont durement gagné pour en faire profiter les fainéants. C'est du grand n'importe quoi. Tu n'as jamais vu Chris dans un tel état. Ne dis pas que les 1% les plus riches n'ont pas ce fichu d'argent, ajoute activement. Ils peuvent peut-être se le permettre, mais les gens comme moi vont tout perdre. C'est vrai, mais je ne vois pas comment je peux faire. Dans ma famille, c'est toujours toi qui as eu le plus d'argent. Excuse-moi, mais prendre aux riches pour donner aux pauvres, ce n'est pas une si mauvaise idée. Alors moi, je vais répondre ça. Comment veux-tu faire preuve d'autant de naïveté? Ils prennent ce qu'ils jugent bon de prendre pour distribuer ce qu'ils veulent. Aucun gouvernement ne devrait être en mesure de faire ça. Si je suis là, c'est parce que je dois emprunter ton passeport. Mon passeport? Pour quelle raison? Ils ont pris le mien et celui de la moitié des habitants de ce fichu pays. Mais il paraît qu'on se ressemble, alors Chris fait les 100 pas. Je dois partir avant qu'il ne soit trop tard. Ensuite, mon argent et moi serons à l'abri. Je dois m'enfuir avant qu'il ne bloque mes comptes. Je t'en supplie. Si je te demande, c'est que je n'ai pas le choix. Il y a forcément un autre moyen. Tu plaisantes, n'est-ce pas? J'ai toujours bien agi envers Sam et toi. J'ai traité vos enfants comme si c'était les miens. Nous sommes une famille. Ça ne suffit rien pour toi? D'accord, je vais chercher le passeport, c'est la famille. Ou mais c'est illégal, je vais pas faire pour toi. Alors moi, je vais aller chercher le passeport. Chris est en bas, a besoin de mon passeport afin de pouvoir quitter le pays. Je vais lui dire cash. Sam ne dort plus. Ne dort plus et se tient désormais raide comme un piquet. Comment ça quitter le pays? C'est si grave que ça? Apparemment. Mais si Chris parvient à quitter le pays, tout ira bien. Je vais lui prêter mon passeport pour lui permettre de partir. Ce que semble dire Chris, mais je ne sais pas trop, comme je ne sais pas si je vais lui prêter mon passeport. Non, moi je vais lui prêter. Ride d'inquiétude sur le front de Sam semble s'atténuer. Merci. Il faut veiller sur sa famille. En connaissant Chris, ce n'est rien de plus qu'une réaction très excessive. Exactement. Donne-moi juste le temps d'apporter ça en bas et je viens me coucher. Je referme le coffre-fort et redescends en bas. Chris ne tient plus en place. Alors tu l'as? Oui, le voilà et je te souhaite bonne chance. Tu vas au lit en espérant saisir un couette sans réveiller Sam. Ok, Chris est parti, on lui a donné le passeport. Du coup, on n'est pas fondamentalement d'accord avec lui, mais on lui a donné le passeport. Jour 8. Il y a des chocolats encore. Pour l'instant, vous en pensez quoi? N'hésitez pas à écrire dans le chat. T'es dans l'abus, mec! C'est le début. Alors, Monsieur Calinou. Une élégante nouvelle crème pour la peau avec une petite touche porcine. Alan James, le produit bientôt. Vente en fin d'année des incroyables décorations de Nail. On va présenter Advance. Je pense que je vais bientôt aller en tôle. Pourquoi? Non, 20 secondes, comment? Il me rappelle à la coupure, c'est à moi de gérer en attendant. Là, on commence le vrai jeu. On commence parce que du coup, Advance est arrivé au pouvoir.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office,
Non, on les
we ask
présente.
exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to
J'ai changé, monsieur Kalinou, il y a eu des problèmes. Du coup, on a changé la pub en vitesse.
previously thought unreachable. But thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose
Tiffany Lamore.
Inside My Snatch has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm, with Advance promising a radical new position on crime.
Présenter les manifestants, moi.
Should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more people saying they're scared to walk the streets alone at night, could this be exactly the right time for Advance's new approach? All that and mega move with a group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
On lui a retiré son bouquin à lui. Ça serait pas au casting. Mais clairement.
And what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat.
Ça m'étonnerait pas que le mec il obtienne un rôle de présentateur après. Hein.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what
this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking...
Grand projet, c'est un peu comme un grand bond en avant si tu l'arrives. Oui, oui, oui. Complètement.
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady
Censure.
doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic...
J'ai pas censuré un truc.
As well as properly funding our public services,
Travail à l'oreille, mais c'est compliqué.
they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book,
Il est ravi avec son bouquin.
science and opiate arts. Like opiates, see?
Coming up, please, Alan.
The issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different...
Ah oui, il y a un P-word qui est passé tranquille. Hein.
Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I
Train de s'embrouiller.
to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
L'autre, il s'en bat les couilles. Pendant que le gars, l'autre gars de la... Un A+ pour le segment. Oula. Bon, A+, mec, hein.
That's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. His little cheeky scared of the big bird caught you with water.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our
On a le
second
duplex.
segment,
Oh.
we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what we're calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. Helen, what are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need we need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very
En train de
different...
se prendre la tête sur le duplex.
Do you
Là, ça
think
commence à
the
partir en couille.
system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear?
La gueule du présentateur.
Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Back in your gift space.
And that wants me to use it to make a change, Bob.
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people
Darling,
of this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty.
Et en passant direct.
Not having this
Bon.
again.
Back in your gift.
L'autre qui se fait frapper, fouetter à la cravache derrière.
The responsibility of the criminal. No one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there.
Voilà. Merci, Bob.
And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a SWAT. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking
Il fait que
up
dire
the
des gros.
line there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris,
Oi, oi!
Little Chris,
Oi, oi!
and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Sopen!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this?
Sopen!
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It's
Toutes les censures que je suis obligé de caler.
caught you at a bad time.
The little boy?
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal
No
there, Tony.
fucking way. La Polita!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will
Oh là
be
là.
back with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Bon, vous en pensez quoi là? Avec Duplex.
Long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
In the stress
Probably banging his head against the wall.
Look, it's alright, I've got this.
Les coupures wifi, il aime pas trop ton.
Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome
8 minutes.
to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle
I
believed
just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those.
Vous voyez le côté cringe.
And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me.
Là.
My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
and teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
Yeah. That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yes, thanks, Steve.
Les maths, c'est très important.
I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly, but we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone.
Alone.
Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist! Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money. double lunch for me today, but why I'm only truly happy when I'm eating.
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free coat.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah, but...
C'est tellement cliché.
I can't fight all 3 of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
Ah bah c'est une comédie de merde hein. De toute façon après on passera au prochain show.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Ah mais c'est pas mon truc non plus. Mais là on est obligé de subir pendant encore 1 minute 45 hein les gens hein. Dire que là c'est la promo du gouvernement hein, quand même hein, parce que ça a été financé par le gouvernement mon gars.
Hitting women is wrong.
C'est mal de battre une femme. Il y a beaucoup de clichés. Ne les comptez pas, vous allez avoir peur. Il y en a d'autres, il est arrivé, il en a marre. Hein. On va te passer en direct avec ta tête de con, toi.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
Même eux, ils en peuvent plus.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Voilà. Et là, on va rentrer dans l'inconnu. Ça, c'est toute la phase tuto. Ah, je suis plus... Ah, maintenant, je suis en dead qui stress. La pub que tu passes me rappelle ce qui se passe en Chine en Russie. Ouais, c'est voulu. Faites des gosses, putain, exactement. Nous, de toute façon, on va s'arrêter après l'écran de jour. Enfin, on va pas s'arrêter le stream, on va arrêter le 2e épisode YouTube là. Ceci était un communiqué du gouvernement, exactement. J'ai mis la propagande d'Advance en repartant du studio quand même. Hein. Dernière info qui passe. Et c'est pas très... C'est très critique, hein, tout ce qui se dit. Hein. Vous le voyez bien. Hein. Je pense qu'il y en a parmi vous qui voient déjà un peu le sens critique arriver. Hein. C'est ça. Parce que... Voir l'envers du décor, en fait, voir sous cet angle l'histoire, je pense que c'est intéressant. D'un point de vue que c'est toi qui choisis et t'as un impact. Fin de soirée. Alors, on va juste faire la petite transition pour YouTube. On fait ciao YouTube, mais pas ciao Twitch. Hein. Twitch, on continue, nous. Donc, c'était l'épisode 2 pour notre For Brodcast. Hein. On commence un petit peu à avoir des trucs. Hein. On remercie le chat d'être là, les petits pipous qui parlent un peu dans le chat de temps en temps. Du coup, on va entamer la suite. Hein. Et moi, je vous dis au prochain épisode YouTube. Hein.